In this video, we're going to look at how iPerspective can be used to generate a Google gadget. As you can see, I have a number of gadgets over here on the right-hand panel. Gadgets can be published, as you can see, on a desktop level, such as these here, or they can be published in iGoogle, on dashboards, and in a variety of different places. So what we're going to do is we're going to use iPerspective to create a gadget. And in this case, first off, we're going to start off by adding a new package. And I'm going to call this the order gadget. And the description is Google Gadget for order, we'll call this for product information. And we're going to say that we want to generate a client in this case. And the client that we want to generate is a Google Gadget. And we're going to put that into a directory C:\IP for iPerspective. We're going to say we want to add that package with the client, with the Google Gadget client. And you can see now that we have a package out here, and it doesn't have any components in it at this point. We have our sources on the left, and I'm going to look for my office sales data, and I can search or fetch those objects. So sources of data, databases, tables, views on the left, app server on the right with packages or grouping of objects in there. We can create any number of web services in a particular package. And in this case, I'm looking for a view within my database, and I'm going to look for product information. So I'm going to take the product information and I'm going to drag that over here into my order gadget package, and you can see now that we have product information here. And there are a lot of different columns that can be displayed here. We can always edit the gadget after it's been created, but I'm going to get rid of a few of these: the category, the product availability, and I'm just going to say that I want to display a few different fields within here. The product description and units sold is really what I'm going after in this case. And if we look at the configuration, you'll see that gadgets like to consume RESTful XML services. We pre-configure this based on the client that we're creating in this case. If we go back to details, you'll see that there's no URI at this point in time, no URI that we can go to for the RESTful service because we haven't actually created the service yet. When I go back to my package, you can see that I haven't built it at this point in time. It does have one component in it. And when I click on Synchronize, within just a few seconds, and we'll see the exact number here in just a second, it's going to create, in 7 seconds, it created all the web services and the Google Gadget client application. Now, the way that we write client applications or template-based applications is that we write a reference application, and we did that using the Google Gadget tool. And I'm going to fire up that tool here now. And we can do that within the Google Gadget Designer that comes from Google. That was how I created it manually by hand the very first time. And now I'm going to say I want to open a gadget. And remember, we put it into C:\IP. And then we have our Google Gadgets grouped together. And now we see that we have this gadget order gadget directory. And I'm going to open that particular file, and again, I can manually create an application, dragging and dropping objects in, and then I create the reference application, and then I templatize that, and I put those templates into iPerspective, which includes all these things like the images that are part of the application, and you can see there's a number of XML and CSS files, and all these files are part of the iPerspective template engine. And at any point in time, I can say that I want to test out this application. I can preview what it actually looks like, and sure enough, here we have the description of the item and the number of sales for that particular item. And so if we pull that back up, sorry, and we execute the application, you can see that here it is. Another option that I have within here is to be able to build a package. And what it does is it writes out a file into the directory called gadget order gadget GG. If I go to my directory here, we can see that we've got, this is c:\IP Google Gadget. Look in here, there's that directory that we saw, and it just wrote out this file right now. If I open this file, it just says that now it's going to add that into my Google Gadgets, and you can see that here's my gadget in the left-hand or right-hand side of my page, and every time I open my desktop, the Google Gadgets on my desktop, it's going to query from the web service that's going to give me all of my products and the sales that I have. And this could be sales by day. I could change this to a graph. I can change it to whatever I like. I can publish it into iGoogle. There are a lot of options with this Google Gadget file. If I go back to my iPerspective server and we look at product information, you'll see that there is now a URI for this RESTful service, and I can take a look at what it's passing back, execute all, which just says return all rows. If we look at the page source, here are all those items, units sold. So I can use this RESTful service in anything that can consume an XML based RESTful service. And of course, at any point in time, I can look at my Google Gadget that is always going to show up on this page, and it's going to tell me the sales for all my items at the current point in time. Thank you.